Hello again, welcome back, and thank you so much for subscribing. Now, the Charlie Kirk murder, it gets a bit murky, really. It's not as straightforward as people think. I've covered the shooter himself, and I was right. I don't mean to brag about something so tragic, but it was quite obvious the guy wasn't a professional shooter. Anyway, so picture this. Charlie Kirk, a conservative firebrand, is shot at an event in Utah. Terrible enough, right? But wait, it gets weirder. Up steps George Zinn, a 71-year-old self-proclaimed Antifa member. Yes, you heard that right. A septuagenarian with a balding head and a rap sheet longer than an Argos receipt, proudly waving the flag of resistance. This bloke allegedly yells, "I shot Charlie Kirk, now shoot me," like he's auditioning for a Hollywood blockbuster, except, plot twist, he didn't shoot anyone. No, according to Zinn himself, he was just playing decoy, a patsy, trying to distract the police so the real shooter, a 22-year-old named Tyler Robinson, could slip away. Noble, isn't it? Taking one for the team, except the team here seems to be a gang of unhinged ideologues who think political violence is just a spicy form of protest. Now, let's pause for a moment to appreciate the sheer absurdity of this. A 71-year-old man who should be spending his days playing bingo or shouting at kids to get off his lawn is instead out there playing revolutionary cosplay with Antifa, of all people, and not just any Antifa member, mind you. This one's allegedly been cashing checks for his activism. Court documents say he's been paid for stirring the pot at Black Lives Matter protests and ICE demonstrations. Paid. That's right, folks. While you're out there working for a living, George Zinn's apparently been moonlighting as a professional chaos agent. Who's footing the bill? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I'd love to know who's bankrolling this geriatric anarchist, but I'm guessing it's not the local knitting club. But wait, it gets worse, because of course it does, doesn't it? When the FBI took a peek at Zinn's phone, because naturally they did, they found images of underage girls. That's right, folks, our heroic distract the cops warrior is now facing 4 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor on top of his felony obstruction of justice charge. Obstruction of justice, by the way, is a fancy way of saying lying to the police to help a shooter escape. So let's recap. We've got a 71-year-old Antifa wannabe allegedly paid to cause trouble trying to cover up for a gunman and, yeah, with a side hustle in depravity. If this isn't a glowing advertisement for the moral high ground of the radical left, I don't know what is. And here's the thing, this isn't some lone nutcase acting on a whim. Investigators are looking into whether Zinn's part of a bigger network, possibly a coordinated effort to target conservative figures. That's right, well, the talking heads on TV lecture us about domestic extremism coming from MAGA hats. This guy's out there allegedly helping a shooter and getting paid to agitate. But don't hold your breath for the mainstream media to call this what it is, political terrorism dressed up as activism. No, they'll probably spin it as, a passionate protester with a complicated backstory. Dear me. Now, I'm not saying every left-wing protester is out there plotting assassinations or hoarding illegal images, but when you've got a 71-year-old Antifa fanboy pulling stunts like this, it's time to ask some hard questions about what's festering in these so-called progressive movements. Who's funding this nonsense? Who's radicalizing pensioners into playing decoy for shooters? And why is it that every time you scratch the surface of these revolutionaries, you find something that makes your skin crawl? Charlie Kirk supporters are rightly furious, and President Trump's out there calling for tougher measures to protect conservative voices. Good, I say, because if this doesn't wake people up to the danger of letting ideologues run amok, I don't know what will. George Zinn's sitting in Utah County Jail, I believe, without bail, and I hope they throw the book at him, personally. Obstruction of justice, sexual exploitation of minors. This isn't a protester with a cause. This is a sick freak with an agenda. So here's my message to the George Zinns of the world. If you're going to play revolutionary, at least have the decency to leave the kids alone and stop helping murderers. And to the rest of us, keep your eyes open, because this is what happens when ideology trumps morality. And there we go. Until the next time, I'm Paz49. Thanks for watching. Stay sane and don't let the lunatics win. I'll see you at the next one. Roger Trout.